Hey, good morning, you guys. It's 6:30. I think this morning we might do no, we need to get on but be consistent. We may do prayer on here. I wanted to get on here to do a little motivation. I know it's got to be people that's up getting ready for work. Y'all know my puppies wake me up every morning because they need to go out and use the restroom. And I got them really trained wrong because then they be wanting to eat. And now they're back asleep again. But in the meantime, I'm up. In the meantime, I am up. So I just wanted to get on and do a little motivation about commanding peace in your life. I know shout out to Facebook. I can't see who's on here for Facebook, but this is the first time that I've logged into Facebook um, in a very long time when I did my podcast. I think that's something I'm going to start back doing because used to when I would go live, I would always go live on Facebook. But I wanted to bring the Facebook people to YouTube. Some people don't have a YouTube channel, so I think I'll just start back logging in on Facebook also. Also, there's something else that I'm getting ready to start doing with um, my organization. And as far as getting prepared to get some training in place, um, I'm supposed to be having seminars. I have not. Miss Della from out of St. Louis. Okay, she passed away. I used to do those seminars with her. She was having them in St. Louis, and she did such an awesome job. She worked for um, the St. Louis Police Department, and she would have, hey Jair, she would have the FBI, the local FBI, everybody that would come and speak. And she could have an aneurysm and passed away. So unfortunate. She was really a sweet person. She really was. So it's something like I think that's why I woke up because when I woke up this morning, my body was real tired. Like I was real tired, and once I got up and started moving around and stuff, I felt better. I had forgot to take my chicken breast out because when I got off last night, like I felt my computer was still on and everything. Like I felt straight to sleep. Even though I rested and tried to recuperate Sunday, um, I was still really tired. I was still really tired. But I want to talk about, commanding your peace. And, I think, there used to be a time like I've always kind of stood out. I think we all have like unique features and stuff. I think people have always just kind of called me weird. But I remember a time I was like, dog, I am so awkward. Like when I was in high school, I was very in junior high school, I was real outgoing and stuff. And then I think like by the 12th grade, I became extremely reserved. And over in my adult life, that's how I've been like very reserved. Hey, Two Pistols. I've been very reserved. And my youngest daughter is so much like that. She's like, Mama, and she always say, Mama, I just feel like because, you you was so overprotective of us, it made me awkward. I used to feel bad about them, like, dog, I made my baby awkward and she's not like a social beat. What's up, Kenny? You done came in through Facebook. I was like, dog, I made my child awkward and all of that, but have to understand like it's more people on through Facebook than YouTube. I think I'm gonna start to stop doing Facebook. because it's one person on YouTube. Well, no, it's more people on YouTube than Facebook. Kenny is the one person on Facebook. Kenny is the one person on Facebook. Jesse done passed. Rest in peace to him. Okay. He how old is Jesse? Like 99? Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. He's known for standing next to Dr. King when he was shot. Okay. I guess he was a part of the civil rights movement and all of that. Mm, okay. And I guess this wouldn't be the time to say anything bad about him. I never would. I wouldn't want to be disrespectful, but I wish that I've always, as I've gotten older and I understand now about what it takes for a movement, it takes organization and all of that. Um, I kind of wonder why all of those leaders that was around Dr. King that helped to put together the People's March, because that was the March on Washington, the People's March, right? Um, I do believe that that was the name of the march, the People's March. Why haven't they? Why hasn't that happened? Minister Farrakhan did do a Million Men's March, and it ended up being like 2 million. And I thought that that was a beautiful thing. He got 2 million men out there. I remember that. That was in the early '90s, and you had so many black men out there. They brought their sons, whether they were Muslim or not. And here's the thing that I don't like. You know, you have so many people that go, well, even though what Minister Farrakhan, a lot of what he says is true, it is not of God to be listening to him because the devil has a way of sounding good. So you have people that could take some valuable jewels from Minister Farrakhan, because it's a lot of men that want to do good. They do it. You have to. It. It is, that Bible is right. What did Paul say? Even though I try to do right, there's something always lurking to try to make me do wrong. So it is definitely a spiritual battle. But you wouldn't. It's a lot of people that want to do right. It's just that what's not right is at arm's reach most of the time, and they don't know how to get something legitimately or right or whatever, right? That's why when you have somebody that's willing to listen and have a hunger and stuff, and you can help them, it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. Okay, I'm over here. I just saw Jesse Jackson has passed. Yeah, he you just I didn't know that, but I'm glad that you came in here and told us that Jesse has passed. Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. I think down through the years he definitely he pushed the Rainbow Coalition and all of that. Definitely is, I guess he's considered like a civil rights leader, right? I guess that's what he would be considered. I don't really know much of what he did, but other than he stood next to Dr. King, and they say in the '60s he was a part of the movement. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. He probably did do a lot. I just don't know about it. But I do wish that we could have leaders, and not just one leader. Many leaders to rise up, and we have leaders, millions of leaders already, because if you're raising children, you are a leader. You're raising tomorrow's leader. You're today's leader that is raising tomorrow's leaders. That's why you have to be very wise about what you teach in your home, what you allow your children to see, what you involve and engage yourself in, right? Hey, Miss Clarinetta. Um, because as I always say, children are definitely a product of their environment, right? Children are a product of their environment, so we definitely want to make sure that we're wise about what we turn our children onto. You know, um, I think kids are overly exposed um, nowadays. They really are. They see a lot. They don't really care. Parents, a lot of parents now, unfortunately, don't really care what they allow their children to see. They don't care at all. And so they're just overly exposed. It's unfortunate, you know. Um, they're exposed to like sex and um, what else? Perversion and then they're exposed to all of this perversion, and then they'll say, well, it is making their minds open to love people. If that ain't sick, I don't know what is. Oh, it's just making them open their hearts to not discriminate and love people by teaching them about sex early. I mean, that sounds like something a pervert would say, and people go along with it. That's perversion. I don't care who you lay with. I don't want my minor child 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old knowing anything about it. When my child turns about 16 or maybe younger, a little younger, I think it is up to the parents to start talking to their children about the birds and the bees. Kids are too overly exposed to stuff, and when people wonder why they all on the internet with their damn tongue and shit hanging all out their mouth, we just kind of let anything fly. I'm not like that. I never did. My daughters don't do it to this day because I one of my things was I better not catch you on that Facebook with your damn tongue hanging out of your mouth. It ain't nothing cute about it, and is sick to me. And they don't do it to this day. I mean, I think about all of the predators. For some reason, predators are protected. They are. I mean, just in Memphis alone, there are a lot of sexual predators. Okay. A lot of them are not even registered, and they are supposed to be. When I had my grandbaby with me, that Walmart down in South Haven has had so many cold atoms. It is so many sexual predators in South Haven. And so they lock one of the reasons why they lock that keep that back door in Walmart or the back area locked all the time is because people have tried to on many occasions. I think that Walmart has had more attempted abductions than any Walmart around the South. That Walmart right there in South Haven. It is so many registered offenders, and a lot of them are not even registered and supposed to be. And real bad about cold atoms. And that's why I'm really finicky about like my grandbaby, even with my nephew. He's 9 years old now, but I'm still like when he's in the store with me, I go, don't venture off. Don't venture off. Don't stay right next to me. And I put my grandbaby in the basket, and I keep even when I have my back turned, I just have this habit of keeping my hands on her arm. That's how paranoid I am because I do know this just from the training that I've had. Um, when you have these human trafficking rings and these predators, they target places like grocery stores and things of that nature where women are prone to come into grocery stores alone with their children, and it be like a gang of them, like a group of them. And what they'll do is they have one to walk up to the mother and distract the mom while the child is in the basket, or the child is walking around where the mother is, and will lure the child away, or will snatch the child up. Okay. Just easily take the child up out of the basket while the mother is distracted with one of the others. So women have to be very careful. Okay. They don't do it with men as much when fathers go into these grocery stores, but they definitely target women. But they will with a father, because kids will try and venture off and go to the toy section and stuff like that. You just cannot allow that to happen. You can't allow it to happen. I remember when my daughter was at the Whitehaven Walmart. My youngest daughter she must have been about 4 or 5. We was walking up to the counter. And as we was walking up to the counter, we was over by the door. I don't know how she she walked right out the door. Like, she walked right out the door. I didn't even notice it. My oldest daughter didn't notice it because she was trying to get her some candy up there by the register. And I put all my stuff up and I'm looking around for my baby. And I'm like, where your sister at? I mean, I just put my grocery up on the belt on the counter. I had not even noticed it. And what happened was I don't know, she walked on out the door. She just did. Oh my God, I was such in a panic. I ran up to the customer service, and I was like, my daughter was next to me. Y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I am on here. Shoot. I be panicking and stuff, and I was like, please, like, get on the intercom, say something, say code Adam or something like that. And them folks was not studying me at that Whitehaven Walmart. And I mean, I started hollering and screaming. And then one of the ladies was like, it was a customer, was like, well, let's go outside and see if we see her outside. And two older ladies was standing on the outside of the door. And before I said anything, she said, "Are you looking for a little girl?" I said, "Yes." She said, "When I saw the frantic and the panic in your face, I knew that little girl that was standing out here." She said, "Here she is right here." She said, "I knew that you had to have been looking for a child." They was looking at my face, how frantic I was. And I'm gonna tell you what those women told me. She said, when she was standing there, she said the little girl was like, my daughter was like, I'm looking for my mom. I don't know how my baby ventured out that door like that. And that's why you have to just watch them at all times, because I got distracted putting my stuff up on the counter. And she said that a man was like, she said, well, she's really smart, because a man was like, well, let me put her in the car and see if we could ride around and find her mama. And she wouldn't go with that man, but she stood here with us. And I'm so glad she didn't go, because why the fuck would a damn old ass, wormy ass man want to put a baby in the car to ride around a small ass parking lot, instead of saying, well, let me use my cell phone to call the police. Okay. So from that point on, I mean, they always had to walk right in front of me. Don't walk on the side of me. Walk right in front of me. So, my oldest daughter remember that. She said, "Mama, you was already overprotective. After that, I just felt like we didn't even want to go. I didn't even want to go to the grocery store with you no more, because you wouldn't let us out of your sight then. Absolutely not." So children are very, very vulnerable. They are children and old people. I've always had a soft spot, a heart for children who are very vulnerable and old people. And I think working at the Memphis Police Department was a shock to me when I started working at the police department and seeing all those different cases that was coming through where kids were abused and um, just how sick. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Before working at the police department, we always thought as kids like old men were um, you know, predators. Like don't go around them old men. You know, that's what our grandmother's like. I couldn't sit on no man's lap. I couldn't. My dad was very affectionate when I was a little girl. So him and his family, they like to kiss on the mouth. My grandmother, anytime I got ready to go spend nights with my dad at his house with my sisters and stuff, my grandmother used to say, "Don't and don't and let me tell you something, and don't let your daddy kiss you on the mouth either." So when my dad used to try to kiss me, I would always say to him, "You got to kiss me on the jaw because you can't kiss me on the mouth." I remember as a little girl saying, "He said, why I can't kiss you on the mouth?" I said, "Because I used to tell him because my grandmama said, "Can't no, I can't kiss no man on the mouth." It's funny how things are kind of passed down because I did that with my kids. I didn't kiss them on the mouth. I didn't let their daddies kiss them on the mouth either. Because my oldest daughter's dad, whenever he would come around, he would have binges where he wanted to see her, and then he'd be wanting to kiss her on the mouth. I'm like, don't do that. Don't kiss her on the mouth. Anyway, so I want to talk about command your peace in your life. I know we got into that, but I think a lot of people are just not at peace, right? They have so much going on in their life. They have people in their life that keep them, at odds with their peace. And you have to understand, like the enemy, the devil definitely comes to steal, kill, and destroy. When you have people and things in your life that does not line up with where you're going, it's best to cut it off. I think sometimes like we be wanting company, we want some type of companionship, right? And sometimes when you're going through like a journey in your life, you have to thug it out by yourself. I find, especially when I'm trying to do projects like going to school and things of that nature, when I start trying to entertain, when I start trying to entertain people, it starts to mess with my peace. When I say people, I'm talking about when I might start wanting to entertain a guy. I think that's in human nature to want to do that. If you are a woman or whatever, and even a man, a lot of men want company too, right? And so, but then things start to get off balance, right? Sometimes things start getting off balance, and I start losing focus because people come. Oftentimes, they have their bad energies on them. Um, they have their issues or whatever, and sometimes you just have to walk a certain path alone, right? For a while to so that you can have your peace. And if you find yourself caught up in something, um, and it's really tormenting you, then it is best that you just command your peace. Sometimes you have to just take yourself out of stuff to command your peace, right? Um, hey Miss Tierney, um I was talking to someone um for a couple months, and that person really started to mess with my peace, you know. And I think as you get older, you're supposed to get wiser, It's like, dog, when without before I started talking to this, I was not like this, like I had my peace or whatever. You just gotta know, you gotta be strong enough to just command your peace. Unfortunately, a lot of times people start to get deeper and deeper into stuff that just don't serve them right. It serves them no purpose at all, right? For people to come, because people will come into your life and kick up turmoil without a problem. They don't have no issues with doing it because they are not at peace with themselves at all. They are not at peace with themselves. And so you cannot let people come into your life and bring their bad energies, because before you know it, you are totally off of balance, right? You have to be secure enough, think enough of yourself, and have enough self esteem, whether you are a man or a woman, to say, I can't go down this path. This could be a great person, okay? Whether it's a friend, whether it's a companion, or whatever. Okay, but listen, my peace is more important to me than anything, and I think people kind of they care about what other people say. They get caught up in worrying about what people say. Well, because um, folks are bad about saying, well, he ain't got no woman. It must be something wrong with him, or she ain't got no man. It must be something wrong with him. No, it ain't her. It ain't got to be nothing wrong with nobody. It could be that that person. It's good to have standards. Okay, it's good to have standards, and if um dealing with someone, whether it is a platonic friendship or an intimate friendship, takes away your peace, I would command. I mean, I would recommend that you get yourself out of that, right? Um, or not allow yourself to get tied up in it. And I think that's one of the things that people don't know how to do, right? They don't know how to. They'll stick around and let people drain their energy. I was thinking about the young lady and the man who's been from out of Memphis who's trending on the internet, the married couple, the albino man. And I see a lot of people saying, well, she benefited because she was getting his money and all of that. I'm sure she might have had more peace before she got with him. She's about 35, 36 years old. And she is a pretty girl. Let me just say that. She is. But whatever he's giving her, um, if it's costing her peace, that's too expensive. Money could never equate to somebody taking your peace and your youth. She is definitely paying the ultimate price when you got an old ass man um that is insecure. Okay, she's got youth on him. That's probably why he liked it anyway. It's funny because I was looking at an interview that he did, and he was like, when he first saw her, she didn't look nothing like she looked. So he insinuated that she went and had some work done on her body. And so he was like, she didn't have, her body was not like it is, but I saw her on Facebook and I liked her. So I went and I looked at her Facebook back from when he claimed he first started seeing her on Facebook. And people gain weight. Okay. Now me, I've had breasts my whole life. Okay. I always felt like if you didn't get them breasts by the time you was about 16, if you had a flat chest, they was gonna stay flat. Okay. Um, but she seems to have, I know when you gain weight, a lot of times when you gain weight, them breasts don't get big. But hey, I digress. She say that she has never had any surgery. Okay. She says she's never had any surgeries. I don't know. I don't know, but he insinuated that she has. But I went and I looked at her Facebook from back in like 2018, and she's always been a pretty girl. She's always been a pretty girl, and but she looks like she looked like a teenager. She was real petite. She was real like plain Jane. She looked like a teenage girl. She looked like a teenage girl. And so I guess for him, that is probably when he say, I just thought she was beautiful before. So now I guess she's got some age on her. He's worried because it was hard for me to believe that she was 35, 36. She don't look old. I just thought she was a little older because you could tell that he's stressing her out. You see the worries in her face. And hey, she living in a mansion, but I mean, that's a mansion of horror. Living up in there with a damn man you probably don't really want no more. That's an alcoholic. Where it's arguing and fussing. Shit. I mean, that's a big price to pay. So she is definitely she has paid a price all day, every day to live in that mansion, and the price is her peace. While she's got him, he's sucking off her energy, her youthful energy. He's sucking all the youth out of her. Okay. That's the reason why he running around here with his shades on. Okay. These young girls have to be very careful when they be targeting these men. That I'm not saying that she look at him as a sugar daddy, but it's a whole lot of girls look for men that are sugar daddies because they think it's easy. All I gotta do is give him a whole lot of coochie. Now you're gonna pay the ultimate price because he gonna suck all the energy and life out of you. And before you know it, you looking like a damn raisin, a dried up raisin, and he's got all of your good energy, okay, and youth, okay. So these women have to be very careful about that, because your peace, having somebody to take your peace from you, that is the ultimate price to pay, okay. That is the ultimate price to pay. And so I don't really care who it is. That's why I said command your peace. Okay, command your peace. He said, I was talking about that couple that's been on the internet. Um, yeah. So, and I'm sure what attracted her to him probably was the fact that maybe he stepped in. Women like to feel secure. I think I would be attracted to. I would definitely be attracted to a man. Any woman would. Any woman wants to feel protected and secure. Okay. And if a man provides security for a mature woman, of course she's going to gravitate towards him. You get to looking at, well, maybe he ain't this, maybe he ain't that. Okay. Um, as far as the physical attributes, because I guess all people got this superficial type idea of what they would want out of a person physically, right? And but you get to thinking about, well, maybe maybe this, he ain't that, or she ain't that, but this person provides security for me, and so you will gravitate towards that person. You will. That is the God's truth. Okay. um and so it's nothing wrong with her gravitating towards security. I won't say that she didn't love him, but oftentimes that'll get you in a trick bag too. When you gravitate towards security, and you don't look at everything else. Okay. And that happens when women are struggling too. Okay. He provides security for me and my kids, and you forget to look at all that other shit, like his how is he really, like when he's mad. Is he tearing up shit in the house? Like, does he shut down and won't talk to me? Because that's a form of emotional abuse too. Like, how does he handle this? Even though he's got money, is he good with saving money? Or is it about representing and putting it on Facebook for the Joneses, like shit like that? Because I'm so not a person like that, right? Um, and so I think people tend to forget that. He said Jesse Jackson died. You see, yeah, Kenny Adams came in here and told me that Jesse died. Jesse been in a bad shape for a long time. I think Jesse has had Alzheimer's. Okay. I was told that it was pronounced Alzheimer's. I think we've gone back and forth with that. Some people call it old timers, and then I've heard somebody say it's Alzheimer's. But I said I used to say old timers, and this is the truth. I was sitting in a hospital room with my grandmama, and we was talking, and I said all old timers. We was talking, and then the nurse said, "What did you say?" I said, "A person has old timers," and she said, "Alzheimer's." She said, "Say it." She said, "Pronounce it like I said, Alzheimer's." So when people come in here and say, "Well, you saying Alzheimer's," it's Alzheimer's. I don't give a look. I pronounced it how the damn nurse up in the hospital told me to pronounce it, Alzheimer's, because I was saying old timers. But anyways, whatever it is, he had it. It could be all time Alzheimer's, or old timers. He had it. Okay, and he's had it for a real long time. So they need to keep their big. Well, what he's doing now is he's got a history of going and getting other women. And so what he's doing is he's advertising himself, but he don't really want nobody else to want her. He want to leave because see, she can get her somebody else. She's still a pretty woman. She can get her somebody. So what he's trying to do is make her look so bad that no other man will want her while he's advertising to other women. So what he gonna do is he gonna go get another woman, and depending on how tied up, because she seems to be real kind of intelligent, as it really, she wasn't dumb enough to let him put his name on everything by himself. Okay, so he might be tied up because she keep insinuating now that he ain't got no money. Nobody has, they got all that stuff. Has he said what he do for a living? I've been waiting to know what they do for a living before I go and dig it up. I be hating it. I got this urge. I don't want to do it. I don't be wanting to go look into folks stuff. But it's something about have not said what they do. I've been waiting for him to say what his business is. I've been waiting. He ain't said nothing about no damn job. And they kind of tiptoe around it. They're gonna make me go and look. She is very emotionally drained, and that's what he wants to do, keep her drained. She gonna start looking like she his age after a while, and that's kind of what he wants. He want to go on with his life because he got another woman, but he knows that she's still youthful and vibrant at this point. She better be careful. She's still youthful, she's still vibrant. Okay, she's still youthful and vibrant. She needs to go ahead on and get away from him, because anytime a man is low down, when he constantly going live, showing her kids rooms, and um, you know, talking about this, and that, that's not cool. What he is doing, right? He's trying to make her look really bad so that another man will not want her while he goes and be with other women. He's left home, probably because he think he got him something else, but he still kind of want her, but he don't want nobody else to have her. She can go get her somebody that'll really love her, because she's still really young, right? um Before his old ass would. She said that he's neat. And listen to this now. She said that because most women, because we buy a lot of stuff, a lot of times we can be real junky. We have a lot of clutter and stuff. But she said it's a difference in being neat and clean. And she showed right, because I know a man like that tried to say that I was junky, but that bitch was nasty. He didn't take showers or baths. Okay, and I take a shower twice a day because I likes to smell good, so I likes to be real clean. Okay, so it is a difference in being neat and clean, because I feel like I don't think a person should skip a day of taking a shower. I don't. That's how I feel. Okay, that's how I feel. But once you're sitting on the couch for two and the first day, the second day, the third day, you look when it's something ain't right about that. Okay, it's something that's not right about that. I don't like people that don't take showers every day. Not for me. Okay, not no not a man of mine. You need to jump in. You need to jump up in there with me because I'm getting in there in the morning, and then when I wind down, I'm getting up in there at night. You need to be trying to jump in there with me at least one of them times. Okay, if you need to be motivated, and that's a damn shame when you got to be motivated. So right. So she said that's what she said. She said he's neat. She said he is very neat, but he ain't clean. And I understand what she mean by that. Cause I mean, sitting up looking at him and them panties he had on, you could tell he don't look clean. She said he be sour. So she's had to endure a lot. Cause I couldn't be with no sour man. Not even if I loved him, I wouldn't love him no more. Cause that sourness would make me not want him. I'm serious, y'all. Y'all know I got on here to be motivational. Y'all always have me acting up. And y'all get in this chat and start encouraging me. That's why I have to start looking at them comments. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it real. I'm serious. You need to be getting into the shower. And it's something because most men, when they clean, and not just neat. When they clean, when they come in off of work, that's the first thing they're gonna do is get in the shower. Okay, a lot of women might take them a little longer because they come in and they prepping food to cook and shit like that. But after that's over, it's time to get in that shower, right? So you can sleep good. I think taking a bath and getting in the shower because I have people ask me all the time. I have friends, female friends that have asked me. I'm like, what? Oh my God! Like your body shut down at night. So I was always told your body shuts down at night. And that's the reason why you have morning breath and all of that. If your breath stink when you get up in the morning, you need to be washing all of them chemicals and oils and stuff that have come out of your pores and stuff when you sleep at night. Okay, so that's why I take a bath at night, brush my teeth, and I get up in the morning and I take a shower. That's why your skin and stuff be oily a lot of times when you wake up in the morning. I got to have me another shower. But some people would say, "Oh, I'm gonna take a bath at night, so I won't have to. I won't have to." Diane, you know who. I'm gonna take a bath at night or a shower tonight, so I won't have to. I can just get up and put my clothes on in the morning. Lady, women, I don't know how women do that. You need to get up and make sure and freshen up. Like I like to smell good. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I love for people to compliment how I smell and my stiletto heels. Okay, that those are how some women like compliments. They like to go be buying all these expensive clothes and stuff. I ain't. That's not me. I like to be complimented on how I smell, and I like to be complimented on how good my stiletto heels look. That's those are my two things. I always want to smell good. Okay, even Funk Box used to always say to me, I don't know how you do it. You go in that restroom, you always come out every morning smelling like roses. That's because I have everything to make sure that I smell good. I have a natural good smelling body scent anyways. But I always like to accentuate that. Of course, I'm gonna always I throw shit all in the shower and stuff to make sure it's lit up lavender, rose petals type shit. And then I like for that to steam in the shower. It get all in my nose, all I like that. I think women are. That's my grandmother did that to me. My grandmother said women are always supposed to smell good. So I don't be sitting up here just saying anything to y'all. I be trying to help my sisters, and I know y'all know be smelling good, but it's we help each other. Girl, look, there's this company, and I've been wanting this company to advertise with me. They got these this yoni that had a box that it keeps your it's organic. It keeps that pH balance right. It keeps that box right. When you get up off of the toilet, you ain't gonna leave no scent behind other than rose petals. And so when I started looking at like, because I'm very meticulous about my vajayjay now. Very okay. And so I started doing research on that company. And like back in the olden days, they didn't have this medication and stuff. They use organic stuff like after they had babies to keep their pH balance and stuff right. Like to cleanse, I know they say your vagina supposedly does a cleansing of itself. You have to understand now these folks into everything. They throw and they back then women weren't letting Tom, Dick, and Harry throw their pH balance off. Okay. She said honey pot. I got some honey pot too. But I got some honey pot, but I be ordering from this company online, and it is a black owned company, and it is organic. And I guess it would be similar to honey pot, but it is definitely 100% organic, and they have different scents. Like that mandarin orange is my favorite. Okay, and if you don't, and it's gonna be smelling just like mandarin orange. Mandarin orange, they got the honey, they got the strawberries. But what I mainly order is the lemon, the mango, and the mandarin orange. And it is all organic. And then they have the yoni balls. It keeps your pH balance right. I'm telling you, like it do. I'm telling you. It because I've told y'all now. I don't know who told women this, but folks, women have been told like, well, all women have a scent. That's a damn lie. All women don't have no scent. If you have a scent down there, that means that you need to go to the damn doctor because a healthy vagina does not have a scent. A healthy vagina don't have a scent. Okay. And these girls don't know that. And you have mothers that teach their daughters that because they don't go to the doctor enough to talk to their gynecologist. They just go to the doctor when it's something wrong. First of all, you're supposed to be going to get pap smears and teaching your daughter about going to get pap smears so that she can make sure, like, if she developed, if there's some type of cervical cancer, since that's something that's going on where at a young age, these girls are starting to develop like cervical cancer. You need to be talking to your doctor about. A lot of women feel like when they go and have a pap smear that it's checking for everything. It does not even check for ovarian cancer. Ovarian cancer is a silent killer because there is another test that they have to order to give you. And so they don't know until that you have ovarian cancer until you like in your third stage of it and you start having problems. So you have to ask your doctor, listen. And I ask mine all the time, are you checking me for ovarian cancer? Oh well, no. I don't see where you would need it. Are you having any issues? Well, you need to check because you don't start having issues until you're in your third stage. By that time, that's the third stage. Now, your rate of surviving is very slim. But the test is expensive, and these doctors don't want to order it. The only thing they're checking for when they give you pap smears is cervical cancer. And unfortunately, you don't even have women now that even take their daughters and stuff to the gynecologist to and first, some of them are so ignorant they'll say, well, she ain't having sex. I don't need to take her to the gynecologist. No, you need to start taking your children, your daughters to get their reproductive systems checked. That's just something that needs to be done. Women need to be going to get a pap smear every 6 months and every year, and at least every year, and having talks with their gynecologist. And your gynecologist will tell you, if you got a fishy scent, that you got some type of infection, whether it's a yeast infection, your pH balance is off, or something like that. Either way it go, it requires a damn doctor, because a healthy vagina does not have a scent. That's my that's my biggest flex. It ain't the only scent it's got is that mandarin orange that it is organic. Okay, I takes pride in my personal hygienes, as all women should. Okay, my grandmama used to have so much stuff. She was one of those prissy ones. I get that from her. Every good smelling perfume and spray and everything, anything organic to keep that pH balance right, I got it. Okay? Because I'm supposed to have it. And I got my daughters the exact same way. She said Sexy Red got these ladies thinking smells are normal. Oh God. So let me guess. The men like stinky smells now. I'm serious, like I think I've checked out with a lot of these young adults. Now they so sick, because you might hear something in a rap song, one man saying he like a woman that stink or something like that. It turns them on. So if Sexy Red saying that, that mean they like stinky stuff. Sexy Red should have go to the doctor. Now, Sexy Red, she probably ain't got no insurance. She might not even be making a whole lot of money, but I'm sure she making enough to go see a doctor. She ain't supposed to be stinky. Stinky smells are not normal. Oh my God. Lord. And see, a lot of women get offended because some men are so disrespectful. They quick to say that these women, they well, I mean, your best comeback for that is, no, sir, I don't. No, I don't stink. He may think it's normal because he might have grown up in the house with, going in the restroom behind his mama, and she had a stench. But you have to let them know. But darling, it's not normal, because these stank ass women. No, I know you probably feel that way because you grew up in the house with your mom and sisters going in behind them when they had a stench. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Okay. But I don't talk to disrespectful men. I don't even Well, men are I didn't grow up around disrespectful men. I didn't. I didn't grow up around disrespectful men. So I don't. I can't. I don't deal with it either. When I hear men, they get to calling women bitches and hoes and stuff. If I'm on the phone with them, I already know that's not a man that I don't want to even talk to him. I don't want to be his friend, nothing like that. It's something about that. My psyche, my mental. I can't ingest that. I can't digest that. I don't take that type of stuff in my spirit, because you got to understand, if they cuss one woman out and call her bitches and hoes and stuff, I mean that's just what they do. They'll do it to you too. You'll be on the other end of that, either behind your back or when they get mad. I don't deal with men like that don't have any type of self control, where they ignorant like that. Young men need to keep their hygienes up. You heard what that woman said. She see she called her husband sour every chance she get. She called him sour, and she says that he is not clean. Hey Tam, I listened to what she say, and I believe he looked like he's sour. He looks like he is sour, sitting up in her son's room with his panties on. Cause that's what it looked like, some panties. Mm-mm. I ain't gonna even. mm, I can't even imagine. I just can't imagine more. Mm, I gotta keep my mouth closed. I'm trying to do better. So, but I said all this to say this: don't let nobody, command your peace, and don't let nobody steal your peace. Because if they steal your peace, they control you. Like your peace is at the center of your livelihood, your life, your sanity. Because without it, there is no sanity. And so that's why people come after your peace to try to keep you off balance and out of control all the time. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all, guess what? Guess what I'm getting ready to do? Get in the shower so that I can smell like I don't know what I want to smell like today. I don't know when I look at my dresser, when I get ready to walk out, whatever I pick up, I just know I'm going to smell good. Okay, from head to toe. All right. Anyways, you all, I love you all. Y'all have a good day. Let's say a prayer before we get off of here. Dear God, I just thank you for everyone that was on this live. I ask that you shield and touch each and every one of us that is getting ready to go onto our respective jobs. I ask that you shield and protect our families. Give us traveling grace as we're out today. No weapon formed against any of us shall prosper. Anything that rises up against us will be condemned. Dear God, if there is a need for anyone that is on this live, God, I ask that you supply all of their needs according to your riches in heaven. I ask that you just give them prosperity. Give us all prosperity and increase. Let there be favor on the job. If there's anyone that has any health issues, God, I ask that you touch each and every one of them. You are the true healer. And we believe, we ask, believe, and receive. We're here standing in agreement. You said that where two or three agree, you would be in the midst. So we thank you right now, God, that we come into agreement for prosperity, for good health, for peace. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I love you all. Y'all have a good day.